Welcome everyone to a very special video. Today I'm going to be walking you through the top 10 differences between the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo 3DS versions of Dragon Quest XI. Taking a cue from Dragon Quest X, Dragon Quest XI on the PlayStation 4 features a nice auto-run option, which allows you to traverse long distances without having to always point up with the analog stick. On the 3DS, no such option is available. The PlayStation 4 version also features something rather unique that the 3DS version does not, and that is load screens. Coming in at number 9 is the Blacksmith Penalty that is only in the 3DS version of the game. What this means is that if you're trying to make a different weapon or piece of gear and you screw up and reload from a previous save, on the 3DS version the game will know and it will not allow you to use the blacksmith anvil for about 5 minutes. No such penalty is on the PlayStation 4 version. While both versions of the game have monsters you can ride and a horse you can ride, the emphasis on riding monsters or the horse is much more emphasized in the PlayStation 4 version in relation to the 3DS version. The 3DS version, the monsters only have a specific use, and the horse isn't really called via the horse bell, it's just sort of there in the overworld, and it's just to help you out, whereas with the PlayStation 4 version, it's much more integrated into the experience. This one is an interesting one. In the 3DS version of the game, while you're flying around, you'll notice that you can actually see the creature's shadow, and you can land anywhere in the world that you want. In the PlayStation 4 version, you can only land at the glowing pillars of light that you see throughout the world. This is a really unique change between the two different versions, and I'm not quite sure why they did this. Number 6 is a bit of an oddity. While you battle enemies, treasure chests will occasionally drop, and when they open, you don't actually see what's inside them in the 3DS version of the game, whereas with the PS4 version, you'll see a little icon that shows you clearly what dropped. 3DS version is really text heavy, whereas with the PlayStation 4 version, you're frequently given visual aids to help you along. This includes Camus' ability to steal. With the PlayStation 4 version, you can zoom indoors, marking the very first time this has ever been possible in the Dragon Quest series. This is something that cannot be done with the 3DS version, as you'll hit your head. You'll also notice that as you go into the zoom options and decide where it is that you want to actually teleport yourself to, you can actually clearly see map icons, and they basically define what is special about that particular town or area that you're about to go to. So they will clearly identify if there's a weapon shop, an armor shop, if there's a casino, etc. You can also zoom to campsites in the PlayStation 4 version, which you cannot do in the 3DS version. Coming in at number 4 is the fact that in the PlayStation 4 version, all exploration, be it in the overworld, or in dungeons, or in towns, you only see the main hero. It doesn't matter how many people are in your party, who's in your party, what order your party is made up of, you will only ever see the main hero. In the 3DS version of the game, your hero is always the one that's in front, but you can and will see all the different party members that are accompanying him in your active party. So if you change out the leader, if you change out other party members, you will see those changes represented on the field, in the overworld, in dungeons, and in towns. The PlayStation 4 version of the game is really unique in that party commands are issued individually by the characters. In other words, you could have the hero go first, issue a command, then attack, followed up by Martina, so on and so forth. With the 3DS version of the game, things are quite different because it plays very much like the older Dragon Quest games where you issue commands as a team. That means all 4 party members issue their commands before anyone attacks. This means that with the PlayStation 4 version, you can actually spam in the zone moves because each character has their own individual turn. Whereas with the 3DS version, you will only be able to use one in the zone command per team command, if that makes any sense. Number 2 is probably the biggest change between the two different versions in terms of content. I've said this quite a few times already, but the 3DS version features a significant amount of content that is excluded from the PlayStation 4 version. You get Yoshi Village, which is an entire village that is exclusive to the 3DS version, and inside there are retro areas which are made up of 2 to 3 different quests per Dragon Quest game. So I'm talking Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you finish all of those different quests, you're actually taken to another area where you have 4 different super boss battles. And the rewards for these particular areas include exclusive weapons, armor, items, etc. And this is all exclusive to the 3DS version and really ties that version of the game into the previous Dragon Quest games. It's quite significant, I shall say that. The PlayStation 4 version, on the other hand, has an exclusive casino minigame and a target minigame, which basically are little targets that are scattered throughout the world, and you just go up to them and shoot them. It's really that simple. So in terms of exclusive content, the 3DS is the clear winner here with very substantial content that's just awesome to experience. And the number 1 difference between these two particular versions of the same game is the most obvious, and that is the graphics. With the PlayStation 4 version, you are treated to one of the nicest looking video games ever created. This is a beauty. The PlayStation 4 version emphasizes exploration over your typical Dragon Quest game. That's not to say that the other versions don't emphasize exploration as well. It's just you don't get the same sense of freedom of exploration as you do with the PlayStation 4 version. The 3DS version, on the other hand, is basically 2 completely different games. The 3D version is very close to the PlayStation 4 version in terms of that grandiose feeling of exploration, but not quite as epic as the PlayStation 4 version. And then of course it has a 2D mode, which is like a Super Famicom game made in 2017 when this game was originally released. And I have to say that all 3 versions of the game are absolutely incredible. And I hope you enjoyed this video looking at what I consider the top 10 differences between the 3DS and PlayStation 4 version of Dragon Quest XI.